Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Now, former Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, who was on Tuesday expelled from the party, says he will direct his focus to running the Atta Mills Institute after the party's decision to kick him out. Koku Anyidoho was sacked after months of disciplinary hearings over what the NDC describes as anti-party behavior. The under-fire politician has since taken to social media to drop subtle responses while declining to speak to the crux of the party's decision. In a series of tweets, we have Mr. Koku Anyidoho respond to the matters. He says, for example, when Joseph's brothers sold him into slavery, they did not know they were selling him into his God-given destiny to become a prime minister in Egypt. What evil men mean for wickedness, God turns it around for good. I am a son of God. So that's the initial tweet he made shortly after the NDC's decision was made public. Then he went ahead to tweet again. He says, this too shall surely pass. In a series more, he mentioned vindication lies in the womb of time. Shalom. And then he finally made this tweet a couple of hours ago before we got on air. He says he continues to remain focused on growing the Atta Mills Institute, building the Asumdwe Park, and flying high the legacy of President Atta Mills. And he says his Bible tells him that in all things he should give thanks to God Almighty for his grace and mercies. He says he loves Ghana. So those are the responses from Koku Anyidoho on social media responding to the decision by the NDC to expel him. Jonathan Asante is a political science lecturer at the University of Cape Coast. He joins me live for a conversation. Thank you, Mr. Asante. Now, this is the third expulsion of a party member in the last 6 months alone. Former Central Regional Chairperson Aluti Jacobs was expelled from the party. Stephen Atibiga was also expelled from the party. Now we have Koku Anyidoho. What are the political implications of this decision?
Well, good afternoon, Komla. Good afternoon to your viewers. Of course, if my memory serves me right, before the 2016 elections, worse things happened in the NPP, and many were those who thought that the party was going to crack. But because the party decided to crack the disciplinary cord, the benefit and the flag bearer got focused. Now, if you look at the actions of the people that you mentioned, the likes of Mr. Aluti Jacobs and Atubiga, and then lately Koku Anyidoho, I think that their speeches, their actions, their conduct in the public domain do not in any way inure to the benefit or progress of the party as they find themselves in opposition. If they were in government, that would have been a different ballgame altogether. But they have the luxury of time as far as finding themselves in opposition is concerned, because that is the more reason why it will create an atmosphere for them to be well focused. Now, if you have people like that and they find themselves in the enclave of the party, and then they go against certain precepts, concepts of the party, and the focus of the party's progress, hurling tantrums at the leadership and other things. While they remain in the party, it becomes a problem. So once they are expelled, if they go out there and speak against the party, you are an expelled member of the party. So people will call it a sour grapes, more or less. And then secondly, when you don't do that and you look on, you are creating more disaffection for the other members of the party.
Okay.
Because it will appear as though some are untouchable when they misbehave or misconduct themselves. And so once they receive those petitions, it is in order. I think there are two people who have conducted themselves maturely when it comes to something of that sort. You are talking about Kobne Japan in NPP. You are talking about Mr. Adams in NDC, who is currently an MP. So you see that if you think that the fold, that is where you find yourself in the fold of the party, and the same things that went on, that have been going on, that you think you don't like, you can easily do an in-house criticism, put it before, write a petition to the appropriate authority,
okay,
so they will look into it.
All
but
right.
if it appears like you are grinding some kind of sour grapes, and then you held tantrums and leadership of the party in public. It's different when it is more or less like a critique of a policy directive. That is different. But when it becomes so personal, and it's as if, everything must evolve around you, it does not create, a kind of a good atmosphere for the progress of the party.
Thank you very much. Jonathan Asante-Okyere is a political science lecturer at the University of Cape Coast, speaking to us on the latest from the NDC having to do with the expulsion of a former Deputy General Secretary, Koku Anyidoho.